Today's Cowboys Report, the breaking news on Ezekiel Elliott officially being released, sponsored by Missouri. 15% off on top of their 30% site-wide discount when you use promo code CHAT at Missouri.com/chat. If you're feeling a little bit insecure about your height, they make shoes and add up to 2.8 inches discreetly. Tell you more about them later on in today's show. But the news of the day, Ezekiel Elliott, formally, officially released by the Dallas Cowboys. He is no longer a member of this organization. A move that we had broken down, discussed earlier today of, hey, this might be going down here from that standpoint. That's significant. Now they have made that decision to move on from Ezekiel Elliott. This is going to be a post-June 1st cut. Now, what that means is the Cowboys eventually will save $10.9 million in salary cap space. That money will not be added until after June 1st. So for now, they're going to carry on that additional salary cap space. They're going to deal with that, have it on the roster, and then after June 1st, they free up $10.9 million, and they can pay their draft class. They can have their carryover money, like to have their off-season training camp. Shoot, somebody got hurt. We got to go sign T.Y. Hilton. Spending money that all teams like to have, and it allows you more money in the short term to have available for the Dallas Cowboys, and you had to make this move. This particular move is not about some issue of, oh, hey, we're gonna go not have anybody. We're gonna go sign a player now. This was we cannot be paying Ezekiel Elliott what we are currently paying him. It is too much money for a player averaging about 4 yards per carry over 3 years. And the Cowboys will make comments of, hey, he was kind of banged up. He was playing through it. And that's all true. It's also part of the problem that Ezekiel Elliott, with his workload, could not stay healthy. His release in the end was absolutely necessary, or at minimum, a restructure pay cut, which did not end up happening. So how do you feel about cutting Ezekiel Elliott to begin the new league year today? H for happy, S for sad. It is the pinned comment on today's show. If an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I'm not sad, because if the Cowboys had let Zeke hang out here on the roster with no decision to begin the new league year, I would have been mad. And I know that's how I would have felt, because I was getting mad when they hadn't done anything yet. So it would feel disingenuous for me to say I'm sad. It is perfectly fine, reasonable, probably even morally right to think about all the good things that the Cowboys had alongside Ezekiel Elliott. All the good moves of, that Steelers game was special. That bursty Bengals touchdown run was awesome. The best running back in the NFL for a brief period of time. All of those things are fair. If you want to reminisce on that, go for it. But Zeke is not that guy anymore. He hasn't been for a while. The only viable move here for the Dallas Cowboys was to move on from Ezekiel Elliott, or that minimum pay cut. And maybe if there's no market, he comes back. I think he's going to be a buck, by the way. But I think moving on was the correct decision. Now, today's Cowboys Report is presented by Missouri. Are you tired of feeling insecure about your height? Missouri makes shoes up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, push-up bras, etc. Why can't men get a confidence boost as well? And we're all the same height laying down, if you know what I mean. Missouri shoes are not only height boosting, but stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time, Missouri is offering our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% on top of their already 30% site-wide discount. So use code CHAT at Missouri.com/ to get your 45% off. Don't wait any longer. Upgrade your shoe game and confidence right now at CONZURI.com/chat. You want to get high, put a pair of Kanzuris. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's 2.8 inches of height difference. And if you think 2.8 isn't a lot, I feel bad for your girl. 15% off Kanzuri.com/chat. This then is the Cowboys running back depth chart. More news, by the way. Rico Dowdle was not tendered by the Dallas Cowboys. So he's also technically a free agent. I could see him coming back on like a cheaper one-year deal because the RFA tender was a little bit more expensive than he would get on the open market, so that one wasn't a huge surprise. He also hasn't played very much. So for now, the standpoint with where we're at, Tony Pollard, Malik Davis. The Cowboys did not give Malik Davis reps against the 49ers unless they had to, and that was like a handful. I don't think they trust him at this point. So what is your one-word reaction to cutting Ezekiel Elliott? Happy, sad, disappointed, needed? What is it? One word only. Let me know in the comment section. My one word is needed. Someone said reality. That's a great one too. It just had to happen. What you should do now, we're going to break down some replacements here for Ezekiel Elliott, is you should go draft somebody. That's a path the Cowboys should strongly consider pursuing here as we get ready for the draft and free agency to move along. That is a good choice the Cowboys, I suspect, are going to pursue in the not-too-distant future. But again, folks, draft coverage here around the corner. This is going to be your one-stop shop for everything going on around the Dallas Cowboys. News, rumors. We did the video this morning. He's probably going to be cut. Now we did the video of him actually being cut. When the Cowboys make moves, we make the news videos. Do not miss out. Subscribe for free Cowboys videos every single day right here on the Cowboys Report. At this point, it's multiple times per day at this point. All right, some draft options. And I have not done much since last time we've had draft conversations at the running back spot, right? But this running back class is awesome. I've got 10 guys on here, and you can expand it to players like Dwayne McBride, Sean Tucker, Deuce Vaughn, Chase Brown. This is a loaded running back class. Kenny McIntosh, Kendre Miller. We're talking 15 players who, if you take them in the fourth round-ish, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And some will go in the first, some in the second, the third, etc. You can find a really good football player. You absolutely can at the running back spot. So whether it's a Bijan Robinson, speed and Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon Achane, bigger backs and Zach Charbonnet, Tank Bigsby, Roschon Johnson, some possible day 3 steals, guys like Tyjae Spears, Zach Evans, Israel Abanikanda, who I'm a big fan of. He's got great burst. Eric Gray, Kendre Miller, Kenny McIntosh, Dwayne McBride. This class is loaded. I would rather draft a running back than I would sign somebody. Now, if you want to sign somebody cheap, hey, one-year deal, that is fine with me. I have no issues with that. Now, I think guys like Jamal Williams, who was like Zeke but a bit better this past year, do I want to pay $4 million for a back? Already paying 10.9-ish or 10.1 for Tony Pollard. I'd like to go cheap there so I can invest in an interior defensive lineman, a new offensive guard, like that receiver. That's the route I would go. But there are players out there who might sign cheaply. That second side of the names there, the Singletaries, the James Robinson, those guys might be a little bit more affordable. Who do you want to replace Ezekiel Elliott? Could be draft, could be free agency. Sound off for me in the comments section. Now, before we go, one other interesting news item. He was on my list of restructures. DeMarcus Lawrence. The Cowboys have restructured the contract of Tank Lawrence. Opens up $8.89 million in salary cap space. That takes you closer to the 13-ish million, a little over $13 million in salary cap space available right this second. So you can go sign a vet receiver. Figure out interior defensive line, Hankins, backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, whatever. It's the fourth player Dallas has restructured. And in a matter of just doing that, doing simple restructures that just free up cap space in the short term, Dallas has freed up $45 million. Once you get rid of Zeke's number post-June 1st, you are up over $55 million. And once you touch Tyron Smith's contract, if you do that, you'll be up over 60. If you want to cut players like Jordan Lewis, if you want to move on from a Dorrance Armstrong maybe, you can start to approach at that stage. You can start getting to 70 million if you want to. Not sure they will, but you're up past 55. You can get to 70 if you really, really want to. Before we go, more news. After we'd filmed the initial parts, we're just going to spice it in here. Tyron Smith is sticking around as a member of the Cowboys on a reworked deal. Now, unlike DeMarcus Lawrence doing a simple restructure, taking money now, pushing it off into the future to save salary cap space when you need it, this is a new deal for Tyron Smith. It is a pay cut, basically. We do not have the exact details. I don't know if we're going to get them, but Tyron Smith has reworked his contract and is going to bring down his cap hit. It was set to be in the $17.1 million range. Some of his base salary is going to be converted into incentives, stuff that is not likely to be earned based on what he did last year, and it is going to be available to him if he actually stays healthy for an entire year, which, yeah, I don't think is going to be the case on that standpoint there. Tyron Smith is back as a member of the Dallas Cowboys organization. I suspect this number might drop it down from 17.605. He had a $13.6 million base salary. I bet this number drops by 5-ish. It's going to be my reckless guess. You free up 5, maybe 6 or 7 million dollars worth of salary cap space. It keeps Tyron Smith on your roster. It keeps him in the fold as what will probably end up being a strong option for you at the offensive line spot. My suspicion is Tyler Smith will play left guard. Tyron Smith will be back at left tackle. The exact number of what this salary cap drop is going to be will help inform that. If he takes a massive cut, that says, he might be your swing tackle. If he takes a smaller cut, it's probably the Smiths are plugged in on the left side of your offensive line. But between DeMarcus Lawrence and the to-be-determined number of Tyron Smith, this frees up a significant amount of salary cap space. You're kind of tight right now. You're going to get Zeke later on to pay for your draft class. You can now go sign a defensive lineman. You can go sign a backup quarterback, Cooper Rush otherwise. Sign a veteran receiver and actually fix maybe all of your needs in free agency for what so far has been one of the more busy NFL free agency periods for the Dallas Cowboys that at least I can certainly remember, at least early on in the offseason.